Hi and welcome back to my channel. Right, before I start, I sound like Marge Simpson. Let me go and get a drink. Oh my god. Apple juice. Does anyone else still have like cravings after they've given birth? Because I'm still loving like fruit juice. Anything fruity, sweet, sour. So today's video is about hospital bag essentials, which you'll have guessed from the title presumably. So everything to do with what I found essential, like what was an absolute dream to have, which I really want to share with you, and just stuff that I'd seen quite a lot of other people put on their hospital bag list, which I didn't even touch or get out of the bag. So just hopefully this is really useful for you. One thing to mention, if you haven't watched my birth story, so I went into labour naturally, so I wasn't induced. So yeah, a lot of the early bits of labour I was at home. So yeah, I'm just saying all of this about my particular birth because yeah, your hospital bag list might be completely different depending on the type of birth you're having, if you're needing to be induced or not. But yeah, went into labour naturally and then give birth vaginally with an assisted delivery using forceps as well. And I was in for 3 to 4 days, which I was not planning on, but handy because Kyle during visiting hours could obviously he could bring stuff when visiting started. So that is just a bit of backstory if you haven't watched my birth story video, which I'd suggest to watch because I love watching them. And yeah, it was quite eventful. Positive but eventful. So yeah, let's get started on hospital bag essentials. So first things first, I'm thinking this is too long of a list just to run through. It is so boring to run through it all. And it was a big list, so I broke it down into stuff for me and stuff for the baby, and a little one for Kyle as well. I even did one for that, but it's literally just like clothes, just a toothbrush in case he was allowed to stay over, and some snacks for him. And I'll just talk through what I found like an absolute essential. So first things first, lots and lots of maternity pads. If you're not having a C-section, I didn't know what type of delivery I was going to have. I was really open-minded, so I could have ended up easily in a C-section. But yeah, so lots and lots of maternity pads. The hospital did have some as well, which was really good. When because I'd had an epidural, I couldn't walk on the first however many hours, I don't even remember now. But yeah, just not being able to get up, and they couldn't find them in the bag for me, which is annoying because I did actually separate them out perfect into little bags with every single sort of like area of the list all written up. But yeah, they give me them anyway, which was really good. And you go through so many, it's like ridiculous. But one thing for me, black oversized pajamas and just black everything, or really dark clothing. There is just a lot going on down there, and you don't need, on top of everything you're going through, to think, oh, like there's marks, there's like blood here, there and everywhere. Just having black pajamas I just felt a bit more confident. So yeah, definitely opt for black ones. I got some black ones, and then I got some like cream ones in the same design because they were really like soft and cozy, and I just didn't use the cream ones because yeah, I just didn't trust what was going on down there. So yeah, oversized as well. It's such a hard one with pajamas because you don't know how much your bump's actually gonna sort of like go in on itself like straight after while you're in hospital, so it's hard to sort of judge the sizes. But yeah, I could just about at a stretch get the pajamas on at like on my due date time, so I knew like at worst they were going to be a bit stretched. But yeah, my bump did come in slightly and they were absolutely fine. I'd sized up in them, so it was all good from my usual size. One of the things that every single person seems to have on a hospital list is flip-flops. So obviously I went straight to Primark and got the 99p £1 flip-flops that everyone gets, and then couldn't even use them because I'd had an epidural for that long and just obviously laid down for so long. My feet were so swollen, I couldn't actually get the flip-flops onto my feet. So those were actually a massive waste of time. Thankfully I packed some slippers that I'd taken from a hotel from the baby moon that we went on. And I think because they're slippers obviously just for men or women, and they're just like quite a generic size, aren't they, in hotel rooms, they actually fit like an absolute dream, and they were the only things I could actually get on my feet. So yeah, I don't know what I would have done. Like I'd have had to try to get my trainers on, but my trainers were really like squished as well, and I don't even know where they ended up like after labour. But yeah, I'd have had to like probably wear trainers with my pyjamas on, like going around the ward to like the toilet and going for a shower and things like that. Like it's just not, I mean, no one really cares what you look like, but you just don't need to be wearing pyjamas and trainers wandering down hospital corridors. So yeah, if you go away before birth and there's some complimentary slippers in the hotel, I'd suggest taking them. Spritz for bitz, I cannot recommend enough, and it was mad. Quite a lot of midwives didn't know what it was, but it's like everywhere that I've seen like during pregnancy, and I would really recommend it if you're planning or hoping for a vaginal birth. Stock up and get a bottle of it because it is just amazing. I think I'm not, don't hold me to it, but I think it's like all natural sort of products and just really good like oils and things like that, which just help just freshen you up. You feel a bit nicer down there, and I think it actually helps a bit with like healing as well. But yeah, it was an absolute godsend for just like a bit of relief, like after every time you go to the loo. Couldn't recommend it enough. I am 6 weeks postpartum and I'm just at the bottom of the bottle now, and I'm still using it, and it's just amazing. Like I can't say anything else about it, but yeah, I definitely recommend it. One of the midwives said you can basically just look on the bottle, and I think it's got basically all of the same sort of essential oils as you could get yourself. So if you've got all of that stuff, then just use that instead. But I didn't, and it was just really nice having like a Spritz sort of bottle. A long phone charger, massive essential, because in the postnatal ward the closest plug to my bed was through the curtain like, so not even near my bed, like at the curtain, then after the curtain, so it's like outside of where I can even see, and that was the closest one, which was crazy. So yeah, thankfully I'd packed a very long one. I think we picked up like 2 from Amazon, so obviously then Kyle could have one when he was visiting, like all day every day. But yeah, otherwise I'd have literally been uncontactable, because every time I'd need to use my phone would have to just be like outside of the curtain where I couldn't even see it as well. And obviously you're taking so many photos and videos in hospital when they're just sat there being so cute. You're trying to take in all those like the first day of just them being here with you. I'm looking down because she's sat in the Moses basket right next to me, flat out in a little pumpkin outfit. Another one is, it's a really random one, but a picnic cooler bag. So we bought one again off Amazon for our Lucozade, which is another essential one. Just lots of bottles of Lucozade Sport. Like it is the go-to drink and it is a dream. Like I just really like it anywhere, but amazing for labour, just for that little bit of energy. It's just a really nice drink to have. But hospitals are notoriously like hot. I think no matter what time of year, because there's no aircon, I think that's right, they're not allowed to have aircon because it obviously spreads all the germs and things like that. So yeah, we had that, and every day Kyle would bring it. Before he came for visiting, he'd bring it, and just with fresh cold water bottles, Lucozade Sport, and it just meant I had cold drinks for a good few hours on the day, which was really nice. Really simple one, a carrier bag or a white bin bag for dirty clothes for you and the baby stuff. So I ended up in hospital for 4 days, so it was really handy just to have that bag where every time there was just like a little stain, she'd finished with an outfit, we could just pop it into that carrier bag, and it was out of the way of all like the nicer stuff, and you weren't just putting it back into the nice hospital bag that I'd got. Oversized tees and shorts, so I had a mix of just like jogger shorts and cycling shorts that went under my bump, and then basically just all of Kyle's t-shirts. I didn't ever take my own t-shirts in, but again, just really handy for just sitting, really casual, really comfy throughout the day. Dark ones, make sure the dark ones, so you're not getting any random stains. Lots of nappies, lots of muslins, quite an obvious one, but yeah, again, if you're living close to hospital, if you're having a hospital birth, it's not the worst thing in the world to take, if you're taking loads of nappies or not, because like Kyle did, we didn't know we were going to be in for 4 days, so I think by the like 3rd morning he had to go back and get things like more maternity pads for me, more pyjamas for me, more nappies for the baby. He can just bring it like as visiting starting, as he's coming for the day. Zip sleep suits, so I've talked about this in the newborn essentials. They are a dream, they are just the best thing ever, but especially in a hospital, because baby gets checked on, I think it was like every 2 hours, and then as the days went on, maybe like every 3 to 4 hours maybe, where they have to strip the baby off. So the quicker you can make that time, every few hours, the better. And just obviously for nappy changes or outfit changes, the zips I find really make them a lot quicker. Essentials, just like toothbrush, toothpaste, shower gel, things like dry shampoo if you don't have the energy to wash your hair. I did not wash my hair, there was no way, there's no, I don't think there was any blow dries and things like that. It's not a hotel, so just a quick dry shampoo was just a dream, just to make you feel a bit more human. And yeah, I'd do it, and I'd look forward to it so much every morning. When Kyle was coming, he could have the baby for half an hour in the cubicle while I went to go and freshen up, and I just came back feeling like a new woman every day, because you literally sweat so much in a hospital as well. Like, the heat is ridiculous. Obviously I gave birth right at the end of August, going into, well, it was September, but I was in there from August, and it was a really, really warm week as well, on top of just hospitals being warm as they are. So yeah, throughout the night you're just so sticky that I would suggest taking just toiletries that just make you feel nice and fresh. Really, even just like luxurious ones, like really treat yourself, like whether it's just a really nice shower gel. I took this, like a little gift one that I'd got from Christmas last year, like a little, like a sample, no, not samples, you know, like little baubles of molten brown shower gel, and I just felt really nice afterwards. Like, I really needed that little pick me up at the start of every day in hospital. Fairy lights, again, I would suggest are essential. I will do it for any birth I have in the future, taking like battery powered fairy lights. So just taking them into hospital for labour itself, and the midwives are amazing. They all came in, and every single person who came in the room commented on how much of a good idea it was. But just to feel like it's just a cosy environment. Like, I love Christmas fairy lights anyway, but just to have, oh, and then another thing they did as well was they turned the lights down. I was in like a really long, my labour was long if you haven't watched the birth story. So it was amazing that once they'd done like all the checks, done all the pain relief for me, they sort of just left us to it. They'd come and check every couple of hours, but they'd turn like the clinical, like really bright white lights down, and it was literally just like a few little lights around the room and then just the fairy lights. So it just felt really cosy and homely, which I just really, really loved. So I would definitely suggest, if you're that sort of person like me, then I would suggest getting some. I literally picked up a pack from B&M, and I think they were like £3-4. And then alongside like that, getting that cosy feeling in the room, we got a portable speaker as well. It was just amazing to have. We'd made a playlist ahead of time, and it was just amazing having all of our like favourite songs, like during labour, during the pushing stage, and then randomly I think there was about 200 songs in our playlist, and the song that played as the baby came out was the same song that we relate to our engagement, because the Instagram post that I did had that song on, and we like absolutely loved the version of it. Yeah, and it came on, and I remember like I was a bit out of it. I didn't really even hear it as I was pushing. There was a lot of people in the room, but yeah, I remember kind of like, oh my god, have you heard the song that's playing like as the baby's coming out? And it just really made it magical. And I feel like quite a few of the songs now have got like even more like sentimental value now. So again, obviously these are nice to have, not essentials for actually getting a baby out of you, but just made it like extra special. I've talked about Lucozade spot bottles definitely, and lip balm as well. I think a lot had said like on their hospital lists about if you have gas and air, which I did, but I didn't have it long enough for this to happen, but I get really dry lips anyway, but apparently it's like really bad if you're having gas and air for a long time in labour. But yeah, just taking some lip balm. Things we didn't use, which we've seen on quite a lot of people's hospital lists and online, people suggesting taking a big towel. Obviously it's nice to have, you could use your own if it makes you feel like more comforted and things like that, but the hospital provided towels for us anyway, so yeah, it obviously takes up a massive bit of room in the hospital bag that we actually didn't use it once. And I was having a shower like, I think for, yeah, like it'll have been like 2 or 3 showers I had during the time there, and I didn't need it. Like coloured pyjamas, just don't bother. There's a lot going on down there, a lot of spills and just a bit of a mess down there. Dark coloured pyjamas for the win. Flip-flops I just spoken about, my feet were too swollen to even get into them. A baby hat as well, so we didn't actually use a baby hat on her because the hospital had them, and there were miles nicer ones. There were hand knitted ones from just local people that donate, which is the cutest thing in the world. So she had, I think she had 2 different pink knitted hats from the hospital, and yeah, the one we took didn't even fit her head. She had quite a big head. So yeah, again, you can obviously take them, but just something from our own experience we didn't end up using. And the last thing that I would definitely recommend is some face wipes and just some like normal like wipes for body as well. So if you're stuck on the bed, for example, and you just want to freshen up and you've had an epidural or you've had a C-section, they are just really handy for if you can't get to a shower and you just want to feel fresh. You're sweating loads like I did. Just easy to pack away, and yeah, just makes you feel better in yourself when you're laid in that hospital bed. Hello, our little pumpkin has just woken up. She always wakes up at the end of the video. She's so good, she lets me get my YouTube done. Oh, look at that yawn. A little pumpkin outfit, I can't hold. His hair's getting so long as well. Hello. Hello. Have you just woke up? She pulls some funny faces. Are you gonna smile? She's obsessed by this camera. Okay. So that is everything from my hospital bag essentials. So everything I've talked about I will pop in the description if it's quicker, just with it being quite a long list, for you to run through if you want to copy and paste and just like go back on what I've said on what I found essential and what not. But yeah, I hope you found this video useful, and I will see you in my next one.